You, and it's good to be here again. Once again, it's the 17th day of July 2025, and what do we have? It's Thursday, and the stock market continues to fly in the Nigerian Stock Exchange as always, and so many of us are making the money as we vowed from the beginning of the year. Thank you very much for joining. Good afternoon to you. It's a good thing to be here again. My pleasure to be with you again and to scour the market for more opportunities as they emerge. Thank you very much, and congratulations to everybody who is indeed a shareholder of First Bank by reason of all of what we've been discussing about investing and making our money grow. Good afternoon to you. You know how we do it on all platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Feel free to start power tapping your screens or generating likes as much as possible. It's free. And of course, give gifts and share the live sessions. You are reaching out unknowingly to so many others who should benefit from this. Just the same way I thought, how could I take this information alone, enjoy it alone, when it could have benefited others? And for that reason, I created these platforms to reach out, and today so many of us are really benefiting from it. In the same vein, I'd like you to join me to share this live session on all platforms that you are. We are coming out full force and making sure that our net worth drastically improves from what it was in the beginning of the year. Is your portfolio doing very well? I guess it is, because indeed, it's all green all over the place if you are investing in the right stocks. Very good afternoon to you, and thank you for all your efforts. Thank you for keeping faith again. As always, I am your wealth coach, a wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping people and organizations build their personal and corporate net worth via investing in the capital market and in the money market. So here I am again to share opportunities with you. Thank you very much. Trem from Toronto says, good afternoon, coach. Bright new day to you. I think very bright new day to you also. Thank you very much. Esther on main Euro says, good afternoon, coach. Please recommend me some US stocks to invest for a long time. I have 2M. Esther, before I go into that, we begin today's session as always with preview of what happened yesterday in the capital markets, and then of course some other financial news updates that is important to us. Then I go on to your comments. Afterwards, by 1 p.m. Nigerian time, we switch to receiving calls from TikTok. So if you want to make a call for now, please go ahead and get set. By 1 p.m. calls will be received. So I proceed right now. Having welcomed you, you know how we do it here. Just keep going on with tapping your screens and sharing the live sessions, liking as often as you will. Those screen actions will help reach out to many other people. All right? So, Fuga's stocks closed in the green as the all-share index shatters the 128,000 mark. First Holdco was leading in volumes yesterday. So, just a quick review of what happened yesterday. The markets surged so much. Daily volume declined modestly from 1.29 billion to 1.24 billion, but investor sentiment remained very strong. Market capitalization climbed to an impressive 81.5 trillion naira, over 36,635 deals, firming up over 81 trillion naira. Top gainers of the day yesterday were NSL Tech, Omatech, Unicel, and Nestle, each posting 10% gains yesterday. On the flip side, Nigerian Police Force, Microfinance Bank, FTN Cocoa, both of them shared 10% each. In terms of activity, First Bank and UBA dominated the volume board, emerging as the most traded stocks of the day. So, top 5 gainers yesterday, like I said: NSL Tech, Omatech, Unicel, Nestle, Triple G, and then the top losers were NPF, Microfinance Bank, FTN Cocoa, CNI Leasing, Champion Breweries, and Mark Nichols. That's about a review of what happened on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as at yesterday. Now, it's important for us to note that Nigeria's inflation rate eased to 22.22% in June. You know, at the end of the previous month, they checked to see how inflation rate is going. And if you let me, today, inflation will be our educational topic, and let me use this opportunity to quickly explain. Basically, what is inflation? Well, inflation is the percentage rise of goods and the cost of goods and services within a 1 year period. So every time you see a loaf of bread selling for like 1,700, and you cast your mind back to 1 or 2 years ago when it was selling for 750 naira per loaf, then you know that what really happened to that loaf of bread is inflation. And this is why we are in this community trying to make sure that we invest part of the money we earn to beat inflation. Because assume you kept your 750 naira 2 years ago, which was enough to buy a loaf of bread, and you planned that 2 years after, that 750 should buy you a loaf of bread. Well, arriving in 2025, after 2 years, you will never be able to buy that same 900 grams loaf of bread at 750. Inflation, therefore, wipes out the value of your money in the bank. And that's why savings alone will not build you wealth. On the list of the richest people in the world, no one ever became wealthy just by saving money alone. But you know what? Saving is the first step towards investing. So all we are trying to do here is to move the money we have made from salaries and business profits into the capital market to grow that money, so that no matter how high inflation rises, our net worth is growing and outpacing inflation to help us continue to maintain a high standard of living and enjoy the financial freedom that we all need. So every time you see the price of goods rising or the price of what you call services rise, then inflation is at play. So what we have after the end of June, the report is that inflation reduced to 22.22%, right? It used to be 22.97% in May. So in June, it dropped to 22.22%. It's important for you to note that perhaps the prices of goods and services may be easing, and if this continues, then you will not see things continually skyrocketing. It was also yesterday that MTN hit 400 naira per share in the equities market. A lot of records are being created and broken. It was also yesterday GTCO became the first bank in the Nigerian banking space to cross the 100 naira mark on the NGX. And now onto a very, very important news detail that may concern a lot of you. UBA has finally announced their plans to raise about 157 billion naira through a rights issue. I told you several times in the course of this live session that UBA was going to come with a rights issue, and we were all waiting. So it's no longer a surprise to me that UBA rose to as high as 50 naira yesterday, because in that notice released yesterday also by the bank to the Nigerian exchange, UBA disclosed through its brokers, United Capital Securities Limited, that's UCAP, that application for the approval and listing of a rights of 3.1 billion shares at 50 naira per share has been put in. The offer is on the basis of one new ordinary share for every 13 held. So if you own UBA now and you want to know how many rights issue are due you, all you need to do is divide the number of shares you have by 13. 1 for 13 means for every 13 UBA stocks you have currently, you are going to be giving 1 for at 50 naira, which is the price for the rights issue. And you know UBA is notorious of giving, doing rights issue or public offer that is higher than market price. So you want to make up your mind and watch what happens until the rights comes. So my advice will be that should by the time the rights documents are released and forms are available for you to subscribe, the stock price in the market jumps above 50 naira per share, all you need to do is to proceed to collect all your rights. That's my advice. But if, as at when the rights issue is done and the stock price is much less in the market than the rights issue, of course, the safest thing to do is to go for the stock on the floor of the exchange. And I'm going now to check the price of UBA and check out. After selling for 50 naira, 50 kobo yesterday closing, at the moment, UBA is at 47 naira. So should all things being equal, this price remains below 50 naira. For me, instead of going ahead to buy, take up my rights at 50 naira, which is far much more than what I can buy in the market, I'll simply go to the market and take up the equivalent number of shares or even more on the floor of the exchange. Currently 47 naira 95 kobo, almost 3 naira difference from the rights issue price. So do your timings correctly, and this is what you benefit from a community like this. You get to get real-time updates about how best to pursue your investment plans and goals and how best to succeed in the capital market. That's all I have for you regarding news and updates in the market. So I go on now to take your comments on all platforms. First, I begin on Instagram, and we have IGQO2 says, good morning, coach. What is your take on May and Baker? I have it and it is reducing in value. What should I do? If you were listening up here, you couldn't have bought May and Baker because this tells me that perhaps you bought almost not too long ago. If you ask me, if you feel that May and Baker is dropping, then there is a challenge because you bought it too high. But I'll need to know, are you in a loss at the moment or not? Because May and Baker was a stock we were buying at 5 naira. It stagnated for so long around 5 naira until it managed to get to 7, and then it goes back to 5, stays there for a long time, manages to climb to 7 and then 8, then pulls back to around 6, then goes back again to 8, manages to push to 9, but the moment it left 9, it kept flying. I think May and Baker got to around 12 naira per share, to our greatest amazement. That's not the time to buy such a stock. In fact, May and Baker closed yesterday at 17 naira. So for those of us who saw it early enough, we know the behavior of May and Baker. You shouldn't sell your May and Baker when you are seeing FeedSyn, another pharmaceutical company in the same space, selling for over 40-something naira. You have to stay patient if you bought late, and see the pullback as another opportunity to average down if it is below your average entry price. I think that's the way to go, because these pharmaceutical companies have been left to take over the space of all those pharmaceutical companies that were foreign. GlaxoSmithKline left the pharmaceutical space earlier, and it makes room for the Nigerian manufacturers in that industry. So you are only seeing a normal pullback that happens when a stock has risen very far. So you want to stay patient, because patience is the name of the game. And what am I seeing before my very eyes and before our very eyes? This same BUA cement is now going to reward everyone who has been patient with it. Guess what? 5.8 million shares bidded for BUA cement, 0 offers. Suddenly, this sluggish BUA has woken up and is at 112 naira 20 kobo. Congratulations. Everybody else who bought BUA at 87, at 90, at 95, at 99, at even 100 naira. Guess what? The day of BUA is finally before us. All of the signals it kept giving the other time, now it is very obvious. And I typed something and shared in our Discord group before coming on live here. I told you in that group that perhaps the era of the free float working in the advantage of BUA cement has finally come. Already 2 million BUA has been traded. Very unusual. 223 million naira spent, 5.8 million shares bidded for, and it is on full bid, 0 offers. So if you have been here very patient, congratulations. Vivian, your money says, I bought BUA at 89. Now it's the time to start watching your BUA money grow like grass. This is what we enjoy in this place. Coach, buying UBA now, will I qualify for the right offer? Thank you very much for that question. I failed to announce to you that the qualification date is about the 16th of July, which is about just yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, let me go back and check. I know I didn't mention it to you, but I think it's in my head when I first saw that publication that UBA's rights issue qualification date should be the 16th, and that was yesterday. So anybody who buys UBA now, if it is the 16th, if I confirm, actually it is. The qualification date for the rights issue of UBA is 16th July 2025, and that means if you buy UBA now, you will not qualify for the rights issue. So any UBA you have before on or before the 16th, that means if you bought up till yesterday, then the shares you have qualifies you for the rights issue. Interesting times are here, and that is if you indeed are following the guidelines that is being shared here for free. Listen to this. Most of those weak stocks will begin to crumble, and little by little, water will start finding its level. AICO is now at 2 naira 13 kobo. We know the behavior of AICO, the inability to sustain a very huge leap in share price. Now it is showing forth 15.5 million shares offered versus 7.4. All those people who bought under 2 naira want to sell at 2 and jump ship. But that doesn't mean that's the end. Also remember, some stocks will pull back and then begin to find their way upwards. Like I advised you, sell and take in your profits. I've said it maybe since last Friday or Thursday coming, and today is Thursday again. You don't sit down and watch the weak stocks that you know the fundamentals are not too sound continue to depreciate in value. Whether or not they recover again is not an issue. And also, do not chase any stock. I keep advising us over and over because someone has just typed, Coach, please talk about LLX. Well, LLX is dropping further. Yesterday it closed at 10 naira 25. Today it's 9 naira 70 kobo. Bid and offer remains balanced. So maybe it is also a general pullback like we have always known it to be. Coach, what can you say on RDL? It's been stagnant. GT, stay in that stock. You see how we stayed in BUA and finally it rose. In fact, if you do not have a stock to buy, you are confused where to go, and you do not want to buy into banks anymore because you have enough, then RDL is a good prospect to start moving those monies you took from those little small cap stocks that are not very, very solid in terms of their fundamentals. In order not to lose the profit you have made, that's how to play the bull market. There's always a way to play the bull market and a way to play the bear market. All in all, you are here to enjoy yourself. What's your take on UAC? And that's coming from Ben Adeleke. I've always advised about UACN right from when it was selling at 12 naira per share. That time we were on WhatsApp only. No live session, no nothing. We just kept going. And now what do we have? UACN 49 naira per share. I begged a lot of us to buy at 33 not too long ago, not up to a month ago. It was 33. Yesterday it closed at 48 naira 20 kobo. Today it's 49. If you want to take a long-term position in UACN, go ahead and take position, because I saw it even selling at 50 naira today. But stay patient, and perhaps you could even buy at 48 naira 70 kobo, just slightly higher than yesterday's price. It happens a lot that sometimes UACN pulls back along the line and then takes a recovery leap yet again. All right? Okay, Coach, more light on Academy. Alayomi, profit taking is still going on massively in Academy Press right now. The stock price has depreciated drastically and it's currently no bid whatsoever, full offer, 2 million shares, and yesterday it closed at 8 naira 33 kobo. Today is 7 naira 50 kobo. It will now have to go through a path of struggle when little offers may come in, or it continues to be on full offer until, little bids will keep coming in, and every bid that comes in gets swallowed up until offer starts appearing. If you are in it and you are in profit, you should still look to sell. then when it maybe stabilizes, you buy. But I can tell you for free, do not be scared if you invested in academic press for the long term, because the fundamentals are solid. It's just normal that when a stock leaps very high, from 5 naira it climbed to 9 naira something. That's almost 100% gain. So it's expected that those who bought at 510, when I first mentioned it, will be taking profit. But even if you get so scared that your profits are now getting eroded, just remember that you invested in a very sound company that does well in terms of the earnings I shared with us. And I know that it's only a matter of time before it finds a way to start recovering. All right? I go on to the YouTube channel to see your comments and respond to them right away. Okay, so Esther Omenyuru was talking about investing in the US market, and I recommended Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, Baba. That's the ticker symbol. I'm looking at ACMR. Our little ACMR of 19 naira is now 29 naira per share. Ladies and gentlemen, we are killing it this year in the capital market, both in international and in the Nigerian market. So suddenly, our little ACMR, I will never forget, at 19, a lot of people jumped in. That's a long-term, solid, fundamentally sound stock you should take position in. And maybe just a little pullback is required. So when I mentioned Alibaba at 117 or so 2 days ago, yesterday it dropped to 115, which even gives us a further chance to buy it lower. And then also ODD was recommended. That's another very good, fundamentally sound stock that will go places in the long term. Now, ODD, after I mentioned it at 75, and I said around 70 will be a good entry. So one should be patient a bit to take a leap when that dip comes. Indeed, the dip came, but it dropped to 71 2 days after. And then, boom, it climbs back onto 74. I think it's around 74. So those are some of the US stocks. And please, please, and please, when you invest in those stocks, stay patient in them. If not for the instability the US has been creating in the capital market based on government policies here and there, policy flip-flops, it could have been a completely different story for most of these stocks that we are holding. So stay patient. That's the name of the game. Kaka says, I jumped in late at $21 and still in profit. You see that? We have witnesses right here. And I love the fact that you make your comments when I'm talking about a stock, because it also encourages a whole lot of others who are connected and may be wondering whether I'm just making up stories. So thank you very much, Kaka. It's really interesting to note that some of you are taking advantage. Please, if you bought Baba at 117, do not be scared that it dropped to 115. Maybe it's a chance for you to buy it lower and reduce your initial entry price, because I remember I did not mention entry price for Baba, and we are expecting a fantastic half-year result from that company. And of course, when that happens, you will see the beauty of that stock. That stock should be selling for around $170 per share or $180 per share. Coach, what is your take on VFD Group? Let me go on to see what's happening with VFD. At the moment, if there is a stagnation in VFD, I will understand very well, because a lot of people have been credited with their fantastic bonus shares, and so it could be so much in the market. But guess what? It's not even too much in the market. Now, this is the time to sleep over whatever you receive from VFD. This is not the time to start watching should the price move or not. This stock has rewarded you massively, because if you check very well, your initial entry price for that stock multiplied by the number of shares you bought initially, take note of the amount that you bought. A lot of people bought VFD at around, was it 25 naira or something like that, depending on when you first bought your VFD. You know, some people bought VFD at 35, 40, 50 before it rose to 90 something naira. So if you check what the value was when you bought it, now add the number of shares you have plus the bonus shares, 5 for 1. If you had 100,000 shares, they gave you 500,000 extra. Add it to the 100,000 shares you have, that means 600,000 shares times today's market price. You will see that that stock has created value for you. That's where you now need to stay patient and stop bothering about whether VFD is moving now or not, because it will eventually also start moving on its own day. But for now, it has made you a lot of money and it needs time to recover. It's almost like somebody who ran a marathon that you are telling to stand up and keep walking. No, the person will settle down, catch their breath, drink sufficient water, and get revived in their energy level before they start moving forward. I hope you are getting something out of this. So that's the case. Louisa Oge says, hi coach, I have a small position in QTIX. Should I average down or wait for it to dip more? Well, QTIX has a way of moving unannounced. And if you see a situation where there is a chance to average down, then that's what you should do exactly. 3 naira 69 kobo currently. The drop is not too far from the 373 it closed yesterday. And if I'm looking at the bid and offer status, 5 million bids versus 8 million offers, the difference is not too much. And so take some position at 369 and watch how it goes. If it dips further, maybe by tomorrow, which is Friday, then you collect the rest. You certainly are going to reduce your average entry price, and so this bodes well for you. In the long term, you will find that this same QTIX will return back to above 4 naira, and you'd have done yourself a world of good. All right? Okay. So we keep moving. Jesus is Lord. 4.5 million BUA cement already traded, 500 million naira spent. Could it be that the manufacturing plant that was supposed to have been commissioned last year may be ready for commissioning this year? If such a news hits the market, BUA will go over the roof, because the kind of money being pumped into BUA cement stocks right now, it's just not a retail investor's cash that is flowing there. 500 million naira already. Every offer of BUA is being cleared off. There were 5.8 million bids. Now the bids have reduced to 5.2 million. So they keep selling off, and then, of course, it continues to be on full bid. What's your take on eTransact? You've got to be patient with that. eTransact will try to emulate what CWG did, but you've got to be very patient with that stock. I think the best entry price for eTransact, I remember it used to be around 5 naira, then it would drop to 4.95. Then it found its way and climbed up during a fluctuating move to eventually land at 8.70. Well, today somebody has just bought it at 9.45. In any case, it's been selling around 8 and so on. So you want to stay patient and watch. A good entry point should be around 8 and under. And if you buy at 8 and under, then that makes a lot of sense. Then you stay patient, because eTransact had touched 10 in the course of the LA rally of stocks on the NGX. So you want to stay patient and watch how that pans out. Good afternoon, coach. Talk about Champion Breweries. Champion has made many rich, and if you had Champion and you didn't take profit, then it means you were actually waiting to stay the long haul. Eventually, Champion will find a way to raise capital as well, because there's a lot of debt to deal with, to clear out. Most of the breweries companies are going to eventually be coming to the market to raise funds, including Nigerian breweries and so on. So their stock prices rallying is a good advantage to the companies, because it makes raising sufficient funds easier for them. Before our very eyes, ICO is collapsing, 2 naira 12 kobo per share right now. I don't know how beaten and battered that stock may get, but that's the case with ICO right now. So we go on to, that's coming from Lofty Hill Crown. Coach, does ICO have good fundamentals? The fundamentals are fair, but the biggest baggage and worry for retail investors and discerning investors regarding ICO is that the share float is just too much shares in circulation, and that's a big problem for a company like that, because they work very hard to bring in money into the business, but in per share terms, it just collapses because the stocks are too much in circulation. I think about 15 billion shares, whereas other insurance stocks, is it 15 billion? I will check right now and give you the update, because we want to be accurate with information that we share here. So just hold on a moment. Let me check what the share float, the outstanding shares for ICO is. Well, shares outstanding for ICO, from what I get here, is 36 billion shares. That's a lot. So you need 36 billion naira profit after tax to be able to have earnings per share of 1 naira per share. So they make a lot of money, I can tell you. Imagine the revenue is 138 billion and net income 10.5 billion naira. All right? But when you now distribute it to the stocks, shares outstanding, you now have something like 28 kobo per share, meaning it's almost like they didn't do well, whereas they're doing very well. So what I would recommend for the management of ICO is to do a share reconstruction. That will drastically reduce the number of shares outstanding and then increase the value of the stock per share, and also make them more reasonable in terms of the per share metrics of earnings per share, price earnings ratio, and all of that. Right? Okay, that's about ICO there. Go on to YouTube to take more comments. Please, coach, also talk about US stock to buy and keep, just the same way you talk about NGX stocks. Extra, I think I've mentioned that perhaps your comment came in before I made that comment. Coach, please, is USCN still a buy? Peter Wanchuku, it depends on your patience level right now. I wish that you were here buying USCN 33 naira. Even that was not up to a month ago. But in any case, in the longest of terms, USCN is a good buy, even at 48, 49 naira per share. Good day, coach. Early retirement is big. I'm a beneficiary of taking that impactful decision. Life is good. Niger Uplift, thank you very much for your feedback. I'm really happy for you, and you are in good company. Let's continue like this. And I can tell you that comment you just shared on YouTube must have inspired somebody somewhere. I am retired. For 5 years, I've been retired, not working for money. In fact, I left paid employment in 2010. 2010, that was when I left paid employment. How many years ago was that? Then I went into private business. That is after being a banker with First Bank, proceeding then to work with Shell, and then retired, leaving paid employment into business. I couldn't have called myself retired then, so I then went on again in private business until 5 years ago, when I threw in the towel, and now I can talk to you from anywhere I am in the world, and nobody's going to bother me about meeting targets or not. I now issued instructions and directives for targets to be met. Isn't that interesting? And the businesses that I have personally are actually funded from my investment in the stock market. I'm speaking to somebody particularly. Get concerned about your future. I know you are not excited with the job you are doing, and you have a strong passion for doing something else, and you need to do it, but there is no finance. This is how to get started. And I don't care how young you are. I started very early, and that has afforded me the time to do what I'm doing now. It can also work for you. That's all we preach here. That's all we want to see happen. We want to create a pool, a movement of billionaire investors who own businesses, who have acquired wealth to secure their time. You know what? It's not about the money. It's about securing your freedom, because freedom comes in many ways. You can't continue to slave for money and tell me you have financial freedom. No. But you know what? Build wealth like we are trying to do now, and then you proceed to seeing yourself being so financially free. That freedom comes with freedom to decide where you live on this earth. If where you are currently is not giving you what you want, and you see prospects anywhere else, you can proceed because you have the financial muscle. Can I tell you this? No country will refuse you entry into their country to stay if you can prove that you have sufficient money. They are looking for assets. They are not looking for liabilities. So whether you want to relocate to anywhere in the world, or you want to make where you are right now, even if you are in Nigeria, the most comfortable place to stay, you need the financial muscle to get that happening. Of course, you have a special talent and passion that can give you money, but you need money to set up that business. use the capital market like we are doing to build wealth and then proceed from there to fund your business and go debt-free. Zero debt. Sleep with your two eyes closed at night, wake up and continue your life, continually making money in the capital market and establishing or growing your business. That's what can I tell you this? This same Donald Trump that people are harassing and talking about how he's reducing visitor visa to 3 months and all of those things and deciding that no one born in the US from now that is a foreigner should have citizenship by birth and all of that. Can I tell you the same Donald Trump issues a golden visa of what, $5 million? Can you see right now that you need money? $5 million, and then you can have the golden visa to become a US citizen and resident. Can you see that? And then some other locations, you have citizenship by investment. They tell you bring 40,000 euros and you can become a citizen of Portugal. Citizenship by investment across Europe and America. All you need is, so if you see where it is written in the Bible, of all places, it is written in the Bible, money answereth all things, then you've got to take it seriously and sit up when it comes to the subject of money. Just find legitimate ways of making money without struggle. That's what I found 27 years ago, started investing in the capital market. You too, it can happen for you. Guess what? Now you're going to learn from my own experiences, meaning all the errors I made, all the mistakes I made, all the losses I made along the 27 years, you are not going to suffer it. All right? And that's why you see people join 1 month after taking steps, they come back and tell you, look, I bought Bua at 89. Now it's 112. I bought Tip at 1 naira 90 kobo. Now it is 10 naira 45 kobo. That's what it is. Good afternoon, Coach. Aradel is giving me heartbreak, sir. Is this the best time to sell, sir? Oyone Sylvester, you are going to completely lose in the stock market if you allow your emotions work against you. There were people who were so discouraged with Bua Cement, but they held on. Now, working with me and following me will help you to exercise your patience levels and discipline level to watch your stock not move or even decline over a long period. It's an investment. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Stay in that stock. Otherwise, it gets even worse. Your anger will double times 100 if you sell and Aradel decides to jump to 750 naira per share. I'm not taking profit. I will wait, Coach. Okay, straight talk with Ebele. I guess you are referring to something else that I didn't capture, but that's fine. All right. Olumide Olaoluwa says, good afternoon, Coach. It's been a blessing following you. My portfolio is improving. I started in June ending though. Please, at what price can I buy RT Briscoe, or what stock less than 5 naira can I bid? He came in end of June. It's not been up to 1 month. He's already happy with the little he's seen. Now, I said it here before now that I am taking a very long-term position in RT Briscoe, and I'm not going to be moved by how low it drops. It doesn't matter, doesn't bother me. I'm looking at something unique coming out from that sector that should benefit the stock whenever it happens. So from time to time, you will see it in full bid, in full offer, all manner, until something fantastic comes up. At the moment, RT Briscoe is at 3 naira 45 kobo, down from the 3 naira 80 kobo it closed yesterday. And I remember yesterday, it was actually on full bid. In any case, on full offer. In any case, it's now available 1.8 million bids versus 1.9 million offers. Ladies and gentlemen, don't sleep over Dangote Cement. It's now recovering. I told somebody to relax and wait for that stock because it will also resurrect. And it's looking like resurrection hour is here for a stock like Dangote Cement. Okay? Please, Coach, what is the right UBA is offering? Rights issue for everybody who has UBA before now, at least up till yesterday. If you bought UBA, all the UBA you have, divide by 13 whatever quantity you have minus fractions. They don't collect fractions. So throw away the fractions. Whatever you get from dividing the number of UBA you have by 13, then that is the rights issue you should prepare to pay 50 naira for. But I gave you a hint. I said, if by the time the rights issue comes fully on and the offer is available on the table, and you find that UBA is selling far less than the 50 naira on the floor of the stock exchange, what I will naturally do is go ahead and buy from the floor of the stock exchange. So you want to do the same, feel free to do that, okay? All right, sir, can I hold Caverton offshore as a short or long-term investment? I have a lot of it. Abati Lanre, I do not know. I have no guarantees as to what Caverton does after now, because I know that they were not doing very well with their helicopter business. The finances were not looking fantastic until news emerged that they were now diversifying into marine and boat building. Now, how successful that business will be, I don't know. It was on the news, on the weight of that news that Caverton rose to about 7. Otherwise, it's always been fluctuating under 2 and 2 naira for a long time. So at that price, it's now time for justification. You see, news can come and drive the stock price of any stock up. But in the end, the market will now come back to ask you, for instance, half-year results should be released very soon, and then they'll start asking you, my friend, you jumped from 2 naira to 7 naira right now. Can you justify that price you are being sold for in the market based on your half-year results? And if it's not okay, then the market begins to punish them. So that's what's going to happen to so many stocks that jumped. We don't know what else is supporting stocks like Ella Lakes, FTN Cocoa, beyond just fantasy news around and hope across their sectors. In any case, you want to be careful with stocks like that. So I would say if you invested for long term in Caverton helicopters, then you stay on. Otherwise, get out of that stock and get into a much more solid stock and start defending your portfolio's net worth, because you are trying to build and you don't want any stock coming to mess around with what you have managed to gather. For me, I would always, because I still do not have Ella Lakes, even though I wrote something fantastic about Ella Lakes, and when it was 3 naira and so on and so forth, people jumped in and perhaps jumped out, but everybody to your tents, because in the end, I can't have every stock in the stock market, if you understand what I mean, right? So let's stay on and stick to our strategies. Just like I'm trying to hold on to RT Briscoe, the fundamentals are pretty okay. They are in debt, and I know that business debts are not to kill you. I could see prospects. I am also investing in hope in a stock like RT Briscoe, for instance. All right. So if it turns out well, good for me. If it doesn't, okay, that's one of the lessons. So it's not aimed at talking down on any stock. It's just to open your eyes to let you understand exactly what's happening, so you can decide what's best to do per time. All right? Okay, coach, what about Charm's rights offer? The rights offer is not coming yet, so we just need to stay calm and wait for it. In any case, after Charms was all over the place yesterday, today Charms is available. I mean, Charms has been doing full bid already. So weak fingers are going to be shaken out. That's what happens in the stock market. If you will not discipline yourself and stick to your guns and insist on what you believed in when you first bought a stock, then they will really take you for a ride, because they will come threaten you with so much offers. You will sell everything you have and run away, only for the stock price to bounce back and leave you empty-handed. So you want to remind yourself every time you are buying a stock to stick to your original plan, because that was the correct plan you decided on before any kind of emotional roller coaster set in. I hope you are clear with that as well. Okay, Okomu, really impressive, closed at 930 naira yesterday. Really amazing what this stock is managing to do and giving Presco a run for its money. No matter what happens, Okomu is really thriving at this pace. As far as stock price is concerned, it's doing fantastic. All right? Okay. AICO is going down, coach. How do you see it progressing? I've said a lot about AICO, so I will skip that. AICO, those who bought under 2 naira and 2 naira are selling to take their profits because, of course, the rally is coming to an end. We do not know how soon, but the weak stocks will continually be sold down. I have made over 100% in Cadbury. I'm preparing for retirement. Should I keep selling or holding for like the next 5 years? Olaoton, please, I'd like you to hold on to that Cadbury. That Cadbury is an 18 naira stock. You remember when I said CWG was a 17 naira stock, and it looked like, wow, this CWG that continues to struggle at 9 and 8 and 7, well, it touched 17. Still currently holding strong at 16 in spite of the rejection. So, please, this is not when to sell Cadbury. Enjoy the ride. There's no law that says when you recover 100%, you should sell. So stick to your Cadbury and watch it continually add value to you. Lofty Hill Crown says, Coach, condolence to UBA fans today. It's been hit hard today. I'm one of the fans too. We come back to see whether tomorrow will be good. After the dark, we'll have light. Well, it's not that bad. UBA has really rewarded stock shareholders a lot. As far as what we have experienced in the past is anything to go by. UBA is really massive. So far, so good. It can only get better. In fact, I hear that UBA wants to do the same thing that GT did, getting dual listing. I'm not sure whether it's London Stock Exchange, but you see, there is a whole lot that's going to happen because these billionaires will never rest. And I begin to wonder if the billionaires who own all of the money in Nigeria are not resting. Why on earth should I take a rest? Okay? Hi, Coach. What can you say about FTN Cocoa? Is it a good time to buy? Be careful with those stocks. They have milked those stocks. There are no fundamentals. If you didn't buy FTN Cocoa when it was 2 naira, 3 naira, 4 naira, this is not when to buy. In fact, if you have not bought Ella Lakes, you've not bought FTN Cocoa, I think you have tried and stayed disciplined, whether you had cash to buy or not. The fact that you have still not bought those stocks that were flying, that's credit to you for your discipline. This is not to disparage anyone who bought. Of course, we're in the market to make money. But you know what? If you didn't buy all along, this is not when to go and buy to become a bag holder. You know what a bag holder is? Who a bag holder is in the stock market? A stock price is jumping and everybody's making money out of it, and then you too, the fear of missing out catches up with you and you jump into that same stock that has risen for so long, and then they sell to you and jump out, and then suddenly you realize nobody else wants to buy the same stock that you gathered for yourself. You become a bag holder. You don't want to be that. If you have waited this long and not bought either FTN Cocoa, Ella Lakes, Caverton, all of those stocks that do not have supportive fundamentals that rose so speedily, then it's time for you to now say, all right, so after all of the noises, can I see what your financial position is? This is when to really look. And sometimes a sell down can so happen to the extent, by the time you check the reports, you now see that the emotional sell-off might just have sold down some of these stocks below their fair value. That is the time you now get in. So if LLX comes up with fantastic prospects, they raise 250 billion and then they really deploy that money to grow the business, then you can be rest assured that whatever you invest now is secured. And so you don't invest from the standpoint of being unsure what to expect. I will tell you one thing. Before Presco bought the business in Ghana last year, they decided to fund it through a commercial paper, 100 billion naira commercial paper, 100 billion. Neat capital raised, business done, dusted. Now, for Ella Lakes that really hasn't started producing as at last year, to come and say 250 billion, you Your expectation needs to be very high as to what they can attain. And of course, you need to know the history of what they have done before. All right? So if you do not ask these questions and you are deploying your funds, committing money, then whatever you see, it's your decision. Coach, I have 1 million. What stock can I buy for a long time? I cannot keep answering questions like this left, right, and center. If you come and join the live session and we see opportunities and share, you make up your mind. It doesn't matter how much you have. I think we can help ourselves because some people still come onto my DM to say, I have so and so, what can I invest? Where will I have the time to now go and study, look for information, and come and share for you the next day? Considering the fact I come on a daily basis, what people are collecting money for, do once and collect money from you and disappear, right? So I need some level of time to really focus on what to do. Before I say Jack, Dangote Cement is on full bid. The market is going crazy right now. I think the big guns are now deciding to fly. Let's see what's happening with WAPCO, by the way. Okay, WAPCO is at 106. Can you imagine? Even Dangote Cement is now on full bid. Crazy, isn't it? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the 1 p.m. mark when calls shall be taken. So we go ahead. Coach, please talk about NIDF. Is stagnant for a while. NIDF will continue to be stagnant. It's a cash cow that people are taking good advantage of. It continues to lay the golden egg, and then people take from there. It's a quarterly dividend paying stock. For now, attention is not there yet while they are making money. Are you seeing what's happening to Cadbury? While I'm still talking, Cadbury is now 64 naira per share. Interesting times, isn't it? Okay. Coach, you are raising an army, especially we ladies, on how to be financially free. Kaka, I can tell you, you are in the spirit. Flesh and blood has not revealed that to you. I said something very instructive. I don't know how many people took it seriously. I said, you know what? I am in your life so that you can walk away from situations that you are not happy with. A lot of ladies have been taken advantage of, and listen, as a young lady listening to me right now, even if you are married, there is so much value in you. Just know how to channel the money and stay focused. If you are single, by the time you get married, you become a bonus addition, a strong addition to your husband. And then if you're already married, your husband may just be playing nonchalant about your seriousness with investment. By the time he sees your result, that's one thing with us. We men, we like results. Results shuts us up. Show me results, and then before you know it, he will be the one pushing money to you to start investing for the family, right? So all we are doing is trying to create value here. That's all we are doing, and you don't want to miss out. Sir, I bought ACMR at 22 because you mentioned it at 20, and it was 22 the next day. What happened to ADMA and Marex? Okay, Baba, I will find out. Let's see if I have the time. Still 6 minutes more before we go on to the calls. I will try to see if I can go through those stocks because, of course, we also discuss foreign stocks here. Okay, let's see how that goes. First, the other stock you mentioned is ADMA. Most of those stocks have sound fundamentals. If they have not returned reasonably good profits, then stay in those stocks. I'm seeing ADMA now. I can't remember at what price I mentioned ADMA. It's now $17 per share. In the last 1 month, it lost 15%. I think is it up to a month ago since I mentioned it? I can't tell, but stay on those stocks. As at April, it was 23. The fundamentals are solid. They remain strong. ADMA has a revenue estimate of $122 million and net income revenue, full year revenue of $426 million, net income of $197 million. That's a lot if you consider the margin. Profit margin, excellent if you ask me. Okay, so earnings per share of 88 cents. We're talking about almost $1 earnings per share, and the stock price is at 17. I think this is even a much more better price to buy ADMA. Stay in those stocks. I saw, so if you go through my Twitter handle, you would have seen some posts I made. If you were following me, I said, if you are not following me, you are losing money. Now take a look at this. 3 years ago, Nvidia was selling for, was it $7 or so? Now it's $170. What's the other one now? Uber was selling for about $3 per share. Now it's about $90 per share. I mentioned so many other stocks. You know, but between that $3 or $9 or whatever you bought and when it got to where it is today, there were all sorts of fluctuations, including dropping below your entry price. Yes? All right, so you stay the course. If you are investing in long-term stock, then you have to take your eyes off daily fluctuations because they are all distractions. And if you continue to follow daily fluctuations, that means you do not have peace. And we are saying invest for peace of mind. You are not in a gamble. You are not doing a guesswork, especially when certain efforts have been put in there to make sure that good stocks are mentioned. Most people remember when I mentioned MSTR. MSTR was at $300 and something per share. Yesterday, MSTR closed at $455. I also mentioned Coin here. Coin was selling at under $300 per share. Guess what? Yesterday, Coin closed at over 400. It touched 400 yesterday for the first time. So Coin created an all-time high before it drifted back to $398, and today it will go back to 400. Yes? So many of these stocks are just behaving as anticipated. But you know what? Between when they were mentioned and now, you will realize there's going to be some fluctuations. Stop bothering about fluctuations. Bother about fluctuations if you were gambling. If you were not, stop bothering. Now, I told us, go ahead and buy hymns. These hymns, the first ever time I mentioned hymns was at $21 per share. That was when their initial deal, Amazon, that was when Amazon announced that they were going to also go into cosmetics and all of those things that hymns does. And, healthy living products. That's what hymns does. Hymns and has health. Hymns crashed to 21 from around 60 something, and I said, no, that's not enough to damage the business that a company does. The fundamentals are still okay. Just one simple news, the American public reacted. Guess what? Hymns came back up from 21, fired back up to 70. Now we heard again that NVO was going to discontinue their partnership with hymns. The stock price dropped from 70 down to 47. I mentioned it here at 47. How much is hymns now? It started rising again. $51.85 is what it closed yesterday. Hymns is one stock you can also buy now. I also gave us further update that they have even found a Canadian company to replace NVO that ditched them. Right? Now, at this point, you can say what the market reacted against has already been taken care of. It's only a matter of time before the stock price recovers. These are part of the ways you can actually invest, especially if you understand the business the stock you are investing in does. I told us about United Health when it dropped below 300. It's still below 300. Everybody's looking at it. But do you know what? This stock used to sell 6 months ago for as high as how much? $576. So my eyes are on United Health. I will keep buying United Health under 300 until it leaves 300. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the 1 o'clock mark Nigerian time when we will now go ahead to take calls. Okay? So if you are on TikTok, keep your calls coming in. Michael is first, and then Valentina will be next. So let's hear our callers for today as we proceed to take their calls. While we are taking their calls, Zenith Bank has dropped to 74 naira per share. First Bank still at 35. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Michael. I'm streaming from Lagos, sir.
Michael from Lagos. It's good to have you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I would like to know about Mansard. Is Mansard a good to buy at current price?
I wish this Mansard you bought at 9 naira and 8 naira. It has surged from that price to what it is right now. Our challenge is we do not know whether it continues to rise. But when it comes to the fundamentals of the stock, I can assure you it's a fantastic stock to buy.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So you want to watch and see how high or how low Mansard retraces before you buy, because you know after every jump there is always a little dip, and some people who are not in it for the long term who want to take profit between 9 and 12 that it got to. Is that okay, sir?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Please, one more, please. Jais Bank at current price.
I've said a lot about Jais Bank. Current price of Jais, let's see how much it is right now. It's okay, just a moment. 3 naira 79 kobo. I begged people to buy at 315 and 320. Currently, wow, the bids are a lot. 26.6 million bids versus just 8 million offers. So I would say buy Jais and just go to bed if it's for long term. 3 naira 80 kobo is the quickest price you can buy because there's a huge bid of 500,000 shares at 3 naira 79 kobo. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow it could come less, but you never can tell. Jais might just climb and go on to 4 naira plus. So the choice is yours to make. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir.
God bless you. All right, we go on to Valentina, the next caller. Good afternoon, Valentina. Tell us your name and where you are streaming from.
My name is Valentina. I'm streaming from Ibadan, Oyo State.
Valentina from Ibadan. Thank you very much for joining. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Please, before anything, let me first of all wash your chair with praises. President General. What else, Governor? Minister of Stock Exchange.
Valentina, go ahead. What's making you so excited? Your portfolio is all green and growing like grass.
Yes, it is. Of course, I got FTN cocoa at 220. That was 2 months ago, a month ago. I called you about it. Guess what? Last week it was at 7 point something naira. And today it dropped to 6. But no matter what, I'm still gaining, so I'm still very, very happy with that. Same with cookies and Champs. Champs is doing well. I won't say it's doing bad, it's doing well. At least with my 2,000 for shawarma, I can still invest. It's very exciting.
I hope somebody is getting something from Valentina's comments, even behind the fund that she's making. Go ahead, Valentina. I just checked through. Champs is on full bid, 9 million bids, 0 offers. Looks like we have lost votes. Okay.
All right.
Congratulations. I know your comments have also inspired some of the young ladies in the house, just like Kaka was talking about. You guys are really doing extremely fantastic, and I'm sure many more others will be encouraged to join the train. Keep winning and keep watching your money grow like grass.
They should wake up. All young I was expecting little money to, but when I came in, I was people talking about Dangote, Aradel. Though I got just small portions of those, small units of those ones, I don't have enough money on me. But I know I wanted to do this thing, no matter how small. So I started with penny coin, penny stocks, how coach will call them, penny stocks. So I think there's somebody I'm chasing in this platform. What's her name? Alaja or something. I'm chasing her back to back. I want to collect that crown from her. I want to be queen of penny coins in this stock exchange.
It's all right. Thank you very much. We proceed to the next caller. That will be all right.
All right, sir. I still have something. I have
Okay.
somebody I brought into the family today. Her name is Divine. I think she's here. So she said her dad has stock. Some stock he bought some years ago, but they could not hear anything from the person that was helping them, like buy purchase the stock then. And I think I talked to her yesterday, and she wants to know if they can search. So we can see if she can convert Moxie to her mom's name, and they can start from there to also trade into stock trading.
Okay, I think the fastest way to do it, I know you have my Instagram handle. Send me a DM. I'll forward that link to you. You search with her. Once she sees the name, she should first feel it. Is her dad still alive?
All right, no problem, sir. Thank you very much. President General, I'm on the nation.
Valentina, she's so full of fun. All right, thank you. Cheers. Bye. Next caller is Austin Mamus. After Austin, we have Abuja Baker. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Coach.
Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Augustine. I'm streaming from Dubai.
Augustine from Dubai.
I joined this platform since February.
Okay.
I joined this platform since February, and since then, my life has changed.
Awesome.
Every day, I'm looking for money to invest. Yes, sir.
Interesting.
It's burning. So I invested in Honeywell floor.
How much?
12 naira
Awesome.
at 12.5 naira.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Honeywell floor have going to 28, it hit 30 and pull it backward.
Awesome.
Through you, I follow you always. Even my schedule is very tight at my work, but I normally I put my lunch time. I always watching you 1 hour every day.
Mm.
And through you, I have Cement, I have Aradel, I have UBA, I have Zenith, I have Cuties, I have TIP, I have USAN, and all of them they agree.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
How much did you buy your tip?
It's a sponsor.
How much did you buy tip?
Well, I buy tip at 5.4 naira.
Wow. And tip is how much now? Over 10 naira plus.
Yeah.
Interesting. You are doing very well. Can I?
10 naira. So
Can I?
I have my question now. I have tip, I have Cuties, I have USAN, and I want to average up. So just check one of these stock and
Go ahead and buy QTix.
okay. At what price?
I think QTix is just because QTix is losing today. That's an opportunity to buy far less. So you may not be averaging up.
Okay, sir.
It's currently at 3 naira 48 kobo. QTix actually moves steadily and gradually. It stays a while, then it moves, it pulls back a bit and moves ahead further. That's what I've noticed with QTix. So at 348, that's fair, even though there are a lot on offer right now. But you just can't tell what tomorrow brings because sometimes these offers dry up. Then UACN as well. That's one stock you can actually average up on without fear because it will continue to give Cadbury a chase. So those who can't get Cadbury, eventually they fall back and chase UACN. Thank you very much. All right, so you can hear all the way from Dubai, smart Nigerians are making sure their money is working for them and they are happier, right? When you are now financially sure of what tomorrow brings, no longer in any form of uncertainty about what tomorrow brings, then you are of all men most fortunate, because a lot of people have the best jobs, they still are not sure whether they can maintain that job. And if you are in this community, you will find something very unique. Suddenly, you are not going to be a wasteful person. Bring the most reckless spender to me. I will change you before your very eyes. You will shed that terrible nature that is meant to actually make you poor before your time. Right? You can't be a part of my circle and be a waster of money. When you see what money can be used to do, suddenly money will dry up around you. You are looking for money to invest, not to waste. And then when you spend money, you spend it with ease. You are not scared. You are not unhappy. There are people who spend money and they are unhappy. They are taking their family on vacation. They are worried. They are spending the money, but they are sad. Why? Because it's almost like, how can I get this money back? No, that's not how to have a relationship with money. You dominate money in my circle. That's what we do. So when dividends flow in and you are spending from dividends, while you are still spending, stock price is increasing, your portfolio is swelling like agege bread, then you know that this thing is really working. So if you are not following me, you can see that you are losing money. All you need to do, follow me on all platforms, because I share information on all platforms at various times. Some of them are video platforms like TikTok, and most times I am unable to do videos, so I share on my Twitter, Instagram, Thread. YouTube has all the daily live sessions. All you need to do, join me on Instagram, send me a DM. My Instagram handle is @WealthCoachOmiate, the same handle with YouTube and TikTok. And then you send me a DM, send me the link to open a brokerage account. So you get started. Don't just be an onlooker. Listen, 22 players run on a football pitch, 11-11. But you know what? The stadium is packed full with 60,000 people cheering them on. With all the strength and all the stress that they go through, by the time they are done, the crown is given to the winner who emerges amongst the 11 teams, right? 11 sets of players. The medals are given to those players. Not one person in the 60,000 crowd is given anything. So don't be an onlooker. If you are not following me, you are losing money. Unless you want to go elsewhere and pay for the information that we are releasing here free for people to make money. It worked for me, and so I can do it for free. I'm not looking for money to survive. When I am if I'm showing that this thing works for me, common sense should tell you that then I shouldn't be all after the money. So my one-on-one coaching is for those who insist that, look, I don't want to make a mistake, I don't have the time to learn, or because I'm too engaged with work and so on, then you can proceed for one-on-one coaching. But the original intent was to be on all social media platforms like this and to relate with you for free. I am live on YouTube because certain investment had to be done to make it a better transmission on YouTube. All of the monies involved in coming on daily live, getting some of these gadgets in place, is so that you enjoy this opportunity without having to pay for it. And if it makes sense to you, congratulations. I told myself, if imams and pastors can offer their guidance, counseling, prayers, and serve the public to help for free, because it's free, why can't I just do the same? So it is in that spirit that I'm here. All right? And now, some of you are growing into also helping your family members, friends, to get involved. That's what the world needs right now. Who told you that you are supposed to remain in one level of finance forever? Who told you you can't hit 1 billion in your investments? Who told you you can't hit 500 million? Yes? All right. So let's keep going. This is not noise making. Follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. Outside the 2 hours live session, you need a community to keep you abreast of market opportunities and information going on, including analysis, because you need to grow. But while you are learning, you can also start earning. That's where we have the Net Worth Investors Club. We are over 2,500 Nigerians, both abroad and in Nigeria, actively involved. We also have foreigners. In fact, one of our ESCO members in the club is a foreigner. He's a Bulgarian. I think half Bulgarian, half Italian. He's an ESCO member. That is, amongst the team of people piloting the affairs of the club. That's how serious it is. And it's all for free. You want to join? We are on Discord app, a very well protected app. All you need, send me a DM on Instagram. I send you the link, you join. For free. And every question you ask should be in the open. Nobody comes into your DM to lure you out on a personal ground. That's why if you follow me, I don't follow you. There's a reason. So that you know when a thief comes to follow you just to deceive you. Because they have created all kinds of accounts using my DP. I changed my DP, but they've still collected and recreated. So you don't want to get deceived. That's why you are the first to contact me. And of course, my Instagram, my Twitter handle, my Facebook handle, I think they are all verified. So you want to be safe. A lot of times people may not know. Once they see the face, they think it's me. So be careful who comes to talk to you about how is your investment doing. No, if you didn't reach me first, then I'm most probably not the person talking to you. It's a thief, and you better run. Net Worth Investors Club will not ask you to bring your money. That's why it's investors, not investment. We are not asking to bring your money. Stay where you are. It's a do-it-yourself club. Ask every question you need, and then you get started, and then you see your money grow. You don't need a degree in accounting or what have you. You just need a desire, and then you join us. So outside the 2 hours session, 24 hours, even during weekends when we are not live, you will be able to ask questions and get attention of members. Thank you very much. We proceed. The next caller is Abuja Baker. Now I need to focus on these calls. We still have sufficient time to take all of them. Currently, 10 callers standing by. Let's see how quickly we can handle this. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay. My name is Miss Judith. I'm calling from Abuja.
Miss-
I just want to first start with God bless you, Coach. I actually started investing in May 2nd, 2025, and I started with 5,000 naira.
Awesome.
But as I'm talking to you now, Coach, I've invested like almost 250,000
Awesome.
from May 2nd to now.
Excellent.
And most of the shares you said we should buy, I bought it, especially Cadbury, First Food Co, a lot. And my interest now, as I'm speaking, is about like 70,000. Like, and I can't even really believe it. Like, a lot is happening at the same time. Yes, okay, I think I bought this particular stock I bought, Fidelson Healthcare. I bought it at 22 naira per share, and now it's at 46 naira per share.
Awesome.
And I just can't believe it. But I just want to say thank you so much, because I said to myself, I worked so hard that I don't even know. But at this point, I just want to be working and my money will be working for me at the same
Excellent.
time. I want to be present for my money to work for me. And I'm really grateful for this platform, because when I saw this platform on 2nd of May, a lot have changed. I've started reading books about stock. I'm trying my best to understand the language of stock. I don't really know much, but at least I'm trying. And I just want to say thank you so much. And for those of us that are still newbies in this, we'll definitely, I'll come back next year by May 2nd to come and give you guys my testimony, because I cannot wait. So thank you, Coach. Thank you so much. 31 naira per share. So now when it dipped to, it went from 40 naira, that's 440 naira to 425 naira. The 425 naira, does it mean that I'm losing? Because I don't really understand. I don't really understand when the stock is dipping.
Okay, when a stock price drops below what you bought it, you are technically at a loss position. But the discipline we teach here is don't be moved when you see a good stock you bought for long-term dip, because the dips and the rises on a daily basis are a whole part of the entire stock market operations. You are dealing with the emotions of millions of people who will sell for whatever reason. Somebody can need money to fund kidney transplant for his aged mother. He will jump into the stock market and sell whatever he has, irrespective of how much he's selling. You will not now decide on your own to start reacting based on that action of that person, because their situation is unique. Their challenge is different. So you watch and relax. Now, you've just learned something also. You watch that stock dip to 425 naira. As we speak this morning, that stock that appeared to be ignored for so long is now on full bid at 473 naira per share. So one lesson to take away from this: every loss is on paper until you sell. If you have not sold, it's just a technical loss on paper. But guess what? A lot of times, such losses eventually turn into profits, especially if you stay the course, because you are in a marathon, not a sprint. So Dangote Cement, hold tight to that stock because it will make you money.
Okay, sir. Well, I don't have any plan of selling any of my stock till next year. So
Fantastic. And I'm looking and seeing your Cadbury now is at 62 naira per share. Go ahead, keep winning.
Yes, I bought at 37 naira.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Now, she does not even know that she has inspired somebody who is listening. I don't know where you are listening from. She started with 5,000 naira. Forget the fact that I come here and tell you 1 billion, 500 million, 20 billion. Please relax yourself. She started at with 5,000. That 5,000, one small shawarma is gone. But she got started. And this is where starting small becomes very important. I started with 4,000. So when she said 5,000, I just smiled. So people are really catching up with this thing. When she starts with 5,000, she sees results. That action alone gives her the required discipline to gather any more money that she can to put in to work for her. So starting small gives you the discipline to deal with much more money when that time comes. Now that she has been able to start with 5,000, when 1 million comes, she's not afraid. She's not intimidated. She's not scared whether she will lose money. She has developed the confidence and control over money. And now she can see 200,000 somewhere that doesn't belong to her and take her eyes off. Why? She knows she can grow the one she has. And so she doesn't need to be a thief overnight. It is the fear of tomorrow that makes people steal. That's why you see people in politics jump into politics to steal. You don't need to steal if you know the process. Learn the process of money making. You will never have to steal anymore in your life. Right? So start wherever you are, just as our Abuja Baker has done. Thank you very much. We go on to the next caller. We are really learning a lot. Today's session is so impactful. Somebody is making money all the way from United Arab Emirates in Dubai. Another person is making all the way from Abuja, and she's a baker focusing on her job or her business and still finding time to get money out to put in stocks. What is your excuse? Next caller is Zini. Are we able to connect with Zini? While that connection is trying to click, let's see some comments on Instagram. I'm new here. Please, I will need some guidelines. Pyramid One Network Service. Just send me a DM. I'll forward all you need to get started. Hello. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Good afternoon. Zini from Benin. Okay. You're asking if it's the right time to buy corn hull. After that initial rise, right? I think it's looking like it's the right time. Unfortunately, you are in a noisy place, but I think you should give it one more day. Tomorrow will be a perfect time to see if you can buy. But it's looking good from what I'm seeing. We are returning to the 3 naira mark and sub 3 mark, which is the best entry time price for corn hull. If you like, you can line up a bid at 306, or you wait tomorrow to see how low it can get. You know, remember tomorrow, Fridays are bargain days as well. Is that okay? All right. Okay, if you have not, then maybe I should call on Atlas to come online and give us some updates whether they are still in the process. Can you mute your mic so Atlas can come on and respond? If they are done. For me, I've received mine. I've also I've got updates from some others who have also received. Atlas, please, could you come on and advise whether or not you are done with crediting VFD shareholders with their bonus shares? While we are waiting for Atlas to come on, I take on the next call so we can see as much calls as possible that we can get. Next on the line is Clean. His name is Chris. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Yes, sir. Please, your name and where you're streaming from. Chris from Lagos. Thank you for joining. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Mm. Mm. Absolutely. Mm. Absolutely. Now, let me tell you, towards November, December, stock prices also seem to drop. But it will depend on how high they have risen before that time. That's why if you run into money, keep topping up on your long-term dividend-paying stocks, because you end up growing more money for yourselves, because in the end, by September, October, for instance, whatever you buy now will also qualify for the interim dividend that will be paid by that time for those you have that pays interim dividends. So you are invariably growing your dividend cash flow every time you put money away into those stocks. So at some point, it doesn't matter if you are averaging up. For instance, I'm still averaging up on my tip. Because while I was announcing tip at under 2 naira, 190, 180, I didn't gather enough. I underestimated how quickly it will rise. So it happens to us all the time. And the idea is to stack up on whatever stock you have found to fit whatever investment strategy you have employed. And then you go ahead and keep stacking up. Because in the end, when you are done, you'll be glad you did as early as you did. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Guys, you've been following coaches.
All right, sir. So we proceed. Next caller, rebuild and rise. Good afternoon. You will need to stay away from the noise so we can communicate better. Your name and where you're streaming from. James from UK, go ahead.
Okay, to start with, Coach, I sent a message on your Instagram, and although you responded, or you didn't really answer the question, so
Okay.
just bringing your attention to it again. And it's just
Can you speak up a bit louder?
what's going on. Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, so it's just about how I intend to, go about my investment journey. Just want to see if I'm doing it rightly anyways. Okay, that being said, I will send the messages again. That being said, I listened to the previous callers and what they were saying, and it resonates with me because last year I didn't know anything about stock. I hear about stock, but I really didn't know anything about it. And I'm the kind of person that I have people back home. I could easily just say, okay, someone asks me, I need 250k, I need 500k, I'll just send, like that. But coach, this year, since in fact it started when I got married, I always make reference to that. And this is also an advice. I don't know what your plans out there for other guys, but it's good to marry someone that shares the same vision with you. My vision is not to live an average life.
Sure.
A very comfortable life.
Absolutely.
Give me a wife, that has that same vision, and she talked to me about stock and
Oh, wow.
stock investment. And as what we have it, I was scrolling, then I come across your live stream. But coach, the problem now is that I have this plan of investment. I do it, 250k every month. But I find myself doing more than 250k every month sometimes because when you see the opportunities, you
Yes.
just cannot, ignore it. And it's a very interesting thing that we are here at this point. When I look at how much I've invested in this short period of time, I just imagine, this money would have gone to some frivolities like that.
Mm-hmm.
I look at my bank statement, like, wow, how foolish have we been all through last year? This money would have been, how much stocks you would have had, stuff like that. So it's very important because it creates this awareness within you that yes, you really have to do something. And it's part of the things why I've contacted you on Instagram, because my plan is to see a 10-year plan. I want to have a billion-naira worth of stocks on or before
Okay, not a problem. What we can do is I will revisit, just resend that message. I'll revisit what it is, and then we'll sort it out. You know what? When I come out here and talk about how I need you guys to hit your billion, some of you just can't seem to hit 500 million. Some 100 million is difficult to touch. Some 1 million, some 10 million. So at least I wasn't blabbing.
No, I see the possibility.
Thank you very much.
It's very, very achievable. So, Coach, lastly, I know so much effort is being put into this. I mean, we're getting more than, there's what we call 7-star hotels, there's what we call 5-star hotels, and then there's a hotel that's even higher than 7-star hotel. Okay, what you're giving us here is more than premium. I'm not exaggerating because there are so many investments, people out there, online, offline. They don't even know Jack. I was calling somebody yesterday on investment. Around like, what do you even know I can teach you? As far as this, so I know a lot have been put into this data, equipment, and all. So, Coach, please, kindly, I also send a message to you. I would want to at least, when we go church, we pay offering. At least let's also support. I just want to support. I'm giving from this. It's more like for me. I have this conscience. So it's for me more like a parasitic relationship. It shouldn't be like that. So I feel it's something that yes, no matter how little, just give to the cause because a lot of people are being pulled out of where they are, and in the future you make reference to this and say, oh, I met this man online, and since then I met this man in my journey to becoming a billionaire. He was very instrumental. So if you don't do it now, one else will do it. So, Coach, I really want to give back to this community.
Thank you so very much.
However way you feel I could be of assistance, I gladly will do. So I'll also drop a message with this with regards to this.
Not a problem, sir. Thank you so very much. Rebuild and rise. Now, perhaps, in case they didn't believe, we are raising billionaires here. Don't be left out. Thank you very much. Okay, next caller, Okonkwo, over to you. NASCON is giving me joy. Aderemi Olushola, enjoy the pleasure. That's what it's all about. Rehoboth says, God, very good afternoon to you. How are you doing? Awesome. Go ahead.
It's about the portfolio actually.
Okay.
I didn't know. I'm CIC, Melanic, I still have two of it, and other of my stocks, I just noticed that they didn't really do well for the past 3 days. I don't really know what's going on. Almost 2 MI is just going down.
What time did you buy Ella Lake? What time did you buy Ella Lake again? I thought you sold your Ella Lakes.
I sold them at 3 rush and back monthly to as 5 naira. So I got some.
Oh my God. Okay, Madam Okonkwo, the fear of missing out caught up with you on Ella Lakes.
I replaced it with equities that period actually. Until, although I'm not got a list for now, it's still giving me joy. I don't really know what's happened within the past 2 days. Including Kabati, they are all doing somehow. I have to run back to my coach.
Okay, let me explain something to us. For those of us who just joined recently, the stock market does not reward this fast. We are in very unique times when I can explain exactly what's happening. All the times there was inflation in the Nigerian economy in the past 2 to 3 years, the stock market did not react or respond. And every other thing, as far as commodities is concerned, goods and services have all increased in price. the stock market really didn't reflect those increments. So they remained undervalued for so long, plus the fact that bonds were more attractive because government needed to borrow a lot of money, and to encourage the investing public, they had to raise rates as high as 25%, 20%, and so on. But now that bond rates are dropping, money from the money market is moving to the capital market. That's one. Number two, the stock is now being repriced. Stocks on the NGX is now being repriced. Just like someone mentioned, one cooked egg is how much now? 300 or 250 or something like that? Don't know. And you still have stocks in the NGX selling for 1 naira per share. What is 1 naira in present day Nigeria, considering how devalued the Nigerian naira is? Then added to GT Bank's listing on the London Stock Exchange, where it was listed at 5 cents per share. It's now about 7 cents or 9 cents or something like that. And that's just close to 100 naira per share. So you see how undervalued both the Nigerian banks and most of the Nigerian stocks are. So we are in an era where the stock market is now repricing and trying to become what it should be. But we should see it as an advantage that we are in very rare times in the market. Normally, you stay patient with whatever you have invested in for as long as possible for things to begin to happen. So don't be too moved if a stock you own is not moving yet. Madam Okonkwo, while I'm talking to you, your WAPCO just flashed on my screen. It's on demand again, now 110 naira per share. So it's a matter of staying patient and not running after moving stocks. For instance, some people have run into GTCO at 105 naira or 103 naira per share. Now it's 96. Why? There will always be pullbacks left, right, and center. So if Ella Lakes is dropping, it's because a lot of people bought at 3 naira and want to sell. Not everybody is buying a stock for the long term. And that's why the stock market helps a lot, because no matter how high a stock runs, a day of reckoning comes when it begins to retrace. So the once in a while retracement, dipping, and so on is a normal thing in the market. So stop being afraid of such occurrences. If you are buying a stock for the long term, stay in that stock. Don't be worried. Like I always say, the stock market never moves on a straight line. It's a zigzag movement. But if you check the long-term chart, you will see it went straight. But when you check the daily movement, it's always up and down, up and down, up and down. And that up and down is what gives some people BP that they don't need, right? So just stay on, and then if a stock drops below what you bought it, the only thing you should worry about is, are the fundamentals affected negatively, and that is why it's dropping? If not, stay there. It's mere emotions. Like I explained, some other person might just be bothered by his landlord to come and pay rent, and then he jumps and sells his Ella Lakes very cheap because he needs that money. He wants to stop that embarrassment. Now, you who is in for the long term will see that and go and react, not knowing it was one fellow who was just trying to sort an emergency out. And then you now sell off, then the price recovers again. So you will find yourself just being moved by the emotions of people that you don't know. That's why I'm here, to help create that stability and keep you in tune with what is really happening, so that you don't panic like every other person.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. That's a
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll all team up and thank you.
Thank you very much. No problems. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's see how we can do it very fast. So many calls building up right now. Let's see. Tommy, you've been waiting down there. Let's see how it goes. So I'll keep giving you updates. WAPCO is in a battle with a stock like BUA, I think, because they are now about at the same price range. We'll see how that pans out. Hello.
Hello, Coach.
Very good afternoon.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Moses. I'm calling from the U.S.
Moses from the U.S., we are glad to have you. We know it's very early in the morning there, so really appreciate it. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for what you are doing, and also encourage every other person on this platform to always follow you. I came across you sometime last year.
Okay.
And when you were giving us those suggestions,
Wow.
I bought anywhere flour under 10 naira. The only regret I have is that I did not get enough. I see it jumping. I had also Mayor and Baker. I think I bought that one too for under 10 naira. Most of the stocks that you said that I bought, they are really Unilever. I see it has gone off the roof. Even my fixing. So I want to say a big thank you to you, because before I left the country, I did a little bit of stock, but I got my fingers burnt. So I wasn't interested in doing it any longer again. But coming across you, it has changed a lot of things for me, and I really want to appreciate that. Then also I want to point out, when I first came initially, and people were talking about, because I know there are some people on the platform that are afraid when other people are talking about millions and millions and millions, that they would look like, oh, I don't belong in this cycle. They are always talking about millions. I just want to encourage them that, look, I started with a peanut, but I know what my portfolio is worth right now. You understand? And I just want to say thank you to you. And also, the other guy said, I also want to be involved in those little equipment that you are buying. I want to do my own little contribution. So maybe I will send you a DM later.
Wow.
To see where I can also contribute. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Tommy. Really, really appreciate you for this and all of your support. Thank you. God bless you, and we keep growing together. Bye. Wow, you guys are simply amazing. Now, he made a solid point there. Do not be intimidated by what you hear. I started out as a student. In fact, I wasn't yet a student. I was waiting to gain admission into the university, living with my parents, no job, no savings, no nothing. But when I got 4,000 naira with a passion to create wealth from that early age, and I told myself there is a way to make legitimate money without fraud and stealing. What is that way? And that was how we stumbled on the stock market. And from there, I have never turned back. Guess what? By the time I was graduating, I've said it before, I was worth 500,000 naira in stocks. And that time you had all the time. There was no internet, no phone. So I followed the newspapers that my dad used to buy on a daily basis. He never did anything in stocks. My father actually was a lawyer, and he grew in the civil service from the federal civil service. Then he came down to serve in Rivers State and grew in the Ministry of Justice and became Attorney General and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Rivers State. So, but he never had any investing thing around him. That's the only thing I miss, because imagine I was under his tutelage regarding investing, where I would have been. But guess what? God has plans for everybody listening to me right now. So he started equipping me early, even if I didn't have a father that had that exposure. You get the point now. So from there on, graduating, I will take the newspaper of today, I will be seeing prices of yesterday. I will now, of course, I had a list of the stocks I have, created a table and dates. Each day, I put the price I have and then sum them up manually. I was using a pencil because you could make mistakes you want to erase and keep it neat. That was how I was creating my own portfolio summary evaluation. It's not now that you have all these stockbrokers doing portfolio summary evaluation. You just click a button, you see everything spread out there. It wasn't so. They will give you contract note on paper, and you must walk to the office of a stockbroker in your city before you start investing. So all of those things, I went through that, and I saw that I was worth over 500,000 naira by the time I was graduating from school. Meanwhile, I was not working. Students need money the most in their life. And money was never enough coming from your parents, and you can't go and steal. But you know what? During that time, I developed, if I could muster money to keep investing and growing when I wasn't working, imagine what I can do when I start earning money. People feel guilty of not sending money to people who are asking for money. Listen, you are undoing yourself. I think, was it Rebuild and Rise? Or somebody else called from the UK and was talking about how before now he used to just send money. This person needs 400K, 500K. You keep sending money like that, you are throwing away your future. This is not me now discouraging giving and helping. No, you are undoing yourself. Pay yourself first. Invest first, so you create the platform from which you can start giving with ease. Why? They will call you and threaten you, and you feel worried. This person is dying, the other person is doing this. Otherwise, if you don't send money, this will happen. Under that fear, you will just keep sending every money you are making and not planning for your future. Nobody is giving to you because they feel you always have. They don't know you also have the fear of tomorrow. The way to do it is to build wealth. There is an amount you should not give out until you make it from investments. So you can give out from your investments. Bill Gates is giving out billions of what he has, his net worth. Warren Buffett the same. Why? Because they have grown the money enough to now give. If they gave out everything they had from the beginning, they will not be where they are. So stop killing the hen that lays the golden egg. Nurture that hen so it will keep laying more golden hens for the rest of your lives. Then you can meet needs. Can I ask you one question? Has there been a time they called you and you were not able to give because you really genuinely didn't have? If your answer is yes, type yes. I want to see your yeses. And if you have typed yes, my question to you is, did anybody die because you were not able to give money that time? If your answer is yes, type yes. Did anybody die at certain time when you could not give because you genuinely didn't have? Nobody died. Did anybody die? If you say no, then if nobody died during that circumstance, nobody is going to die because you are trying to secure your future. You can give, but stop out giving yourself, because tomorrow nobody is going to give you. They all think you have. And if you really don't have and they find out, what will happen to you will amaze you. They will scorn you, mock you, and laugh at you. That's what will happen. So to avoid situations like that, first build, then give from what brings from what you have built. Please and please stop throwing away your tomorrow for the sake of meeting certain urgent needs. Urgent 2K left, right, and center never stops. It will keep happening. When you are able to give, you start attending to those needs without any form of pressure or struggles. Give to the extent you can do away with while building wealth. Then you get to that point where you now give with full force, impacting more, and yet not losing anything. That's the way to go. Please don't make this error forever. Otherwise, you will never be counted amongst the wealthy. The wealthy deny themselves. So if you are denying yourself certain pleasures, you shouldn't be giving to people to go and be enjoying while you are denying yourself to grow money, right? Once you develop the discipline to deny yourself and grow money, then you can now proceed to give from what that money earns you. If you miss this live session, it's going to be uploaded on the YouTube channel right after, 5-10 minutes maximum after today's live session. Go back there and watch it. Share it to as many, because there are many Nigerians in the diaspora, particularly, who are under undue pressure and burden. They don't understand what you are going through there. All they want is send money, because they think you are earning in hard currency. They have no idea how many shifts you are packing over there. They have no idea how you would wish you were not doing that. But all they know is you are in a foreign land earning hard currency. Please send money, keep sending money. It doesn't work that way. So you must determine to change that narrative. Otherwise, your outcome will never change. I hope somebody got something from here. Unfortunately, time is really, really running out. Yet we still have so many more calls to make. But you know what? We really, really need to talk to ourselves to change some of these things. They make you feel guilty. For what? Are they your parents? Were they part of your upbringing and training? For God's sake, you will be good, you will be nice, but not at your expense and the expense of your immediate family. I'm sure I'm hitting the chord somewhere regarding this particular topic as I'm talking to somebody right now. Hello. Hello. I thought we could take a few more calls before we close. Just 3 minutes to go. Splashy J is not able to connect. Let's see if we connect with Kaka.
Oh, coach, that was a mistake.
Oh, okay, that was a mistake. Not a problem. Bye for now. We go on to Obicot Cleanings. Let's do a quick one as we round off today's session. Zenith has dropped to 73 naira per share. Hello. Okay, we do not have the time to entertain this noise. We proceed to the next caller. Alerted King. You've been doing a lot for this group by sharing relentlessly, so let's hear you. Bua Cement, 112 naira per share. The battle is on. Hello. Alerted King, are you there?
Hello, coach.
Very good afternoon to you. Your name and where you're streaming from?
My name is Anthony. I'm calling from Canada. I was hoping Atlas was going to join, but they didn't join today. So my question is for Atlas. I'll wait till they come next time.
All right, thank you very much for your patience. Hopefully tomorrow we get that done. Bye for now. All right, who shall be our last caller right now? Anne. It's almost 2 p.m. when we round off. 1 minute to go. Let's hear from our last caller. If it connects, it doesn't connect. Fema Rudy, you may just be our last caller.
Hello, sir.
Very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
I'm Fema. I'm streaming from Uyo.
Thank you very much for joining. Go ahead.
I'm a crypto investor. I've been trading crypto for the past 4 years now, but I don't know how to invest in stock market because I don't even know anything about stock or so.
Okay, to invest in stocks, you need. Are you hearing me, sir?
Invest.
To invest in
Yes,
stocks,
I'm hearing you, sir.
to invest in stocks, you need a stock brokerage account first. What you should do, send me a DM on Instagram. I will send you the link to open your brokerage account. I'll also send you a beginner guide video on my YouTube channel. I'll send you the link. You will watch, understand how stock operates, then you proceed. The biggest difference between stocks and crypto is a digital asset that cannot be seen physically. Stocks, you are actually investing in a business that exists, produces or renders service and employs people. So all what you are doing is based on the fact that you are seeing a physical asset that is a going concern, bringing in money with the prospect of bringing in more money in the future. That's what you are investing in when you deal with stocks. Every time you buy stocks, you are buying a part of that company. So when that company makes money, they share it in the form of dividends to shareholders. You receive a certain amount to yourself. That's what it is. Follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. I'll forward the link to open your brokerage account and to watch that video. Also, anyone else, you can do the same if you are in the same situation with our brother and then you want to join Net Worth Investors Club, all for free. Send me a DM requesting to join the club. I'll forward the link to you to join as well. Thank you very much. Is that okay?
Right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 minutes past 2 p.m. I've done enough sitting tight for 2 solid hours. It's now time for me to go and utilize the remaining 18 minutes to see what's happening in the market before the market closes, if I can find any opportunity also for myself. I'm so glad for the success you are recording and sharing with us. I'm sure even your success story is actually an encouragement to so many others who are listening. This is why we come on here on a daily basis, sacrificing to make sure that many are pulled out of the impending poverty that may hit humankind going forward. They are working very hard enough, they are earning good money, but they don't know where to put it. So the money becomes useless even if they save. Now we have moved on from that and we are now investing the money to continually beat both inflation and devaluation of the naira, so that whatever the economy throws us at us going forward up till our retirement, we are able to live a comfortable life and afford everything there is that we need for the standard of living we have decided for ourselves, including where to stay, where to live, and where to raise our children in any part of the world. It begins with growing the money you earn from wherever you are getting money from. Until we meet again tomorrow, same time, 12 to 2 p.m. Nigerian time. This is me thanking everybody, Maobi and everybody else who has shared this live session and also called in, made comments, and of course, liked and given gifts. Listen, we are reaching out to a multitude of people. We are raising an army of billionaires. Whether you like it or you believe it or not, billionaires will be raised from this gathering. And do you know what? We are very certain of our financial future. I'm sure somebody will soon get out of that paid employment and the rat race, which is the 9 to 5 rat race of life. All I desire is for you to focus on the best things that you have passion for and you are happy to do, and not get cocooned somewhere struggling to survive because you must work to eat. You want to follow me on Instagram, feel free at Wealth Coach Omiete. DM me for anything you need. And of course, at the end of this live session, the full video is available on my YouTube channel. If you are here listening to me and you still are not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, then something is wrong somewhere, because it's a free channel that you can go back on and play or replay whatever has been discussed here. I have realized that 1 month after one live session, a lot of the things we discuss are still very relevant. So you want to get in there, and if you are watching the YouTube channels as well as videos as well, please share any video you are watching. Let's keep growing and let's keep making impact. Until tomorrow when we meet again, this is me saying thank you very much and see you again tomorrow. By the way, keep winning. Let your portfolios continue to turn green. Bye for now.